Profiles in Cinemania, Susannah York. BAFTA winner, Cannes Festival Award winner, and Oscar nominee Susannah York was born Susannah Yolanda Fletcher in 1939. An actress best recognized for her work on screen in the swinging 60s, York could be arguably described as Britain's female face of the sexual revolution. From an early age, York demonstrated a gift for acting and an ability to portray a broad emotional range. She began stage acting at the age of 9. Her portrayal of an ugly stepsister must have broken the mold for grammar school productions of Cinderella anywhere in the English-speaking world, because upon reaching the age of majority, she auditioned for and was accepted to RADA, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. When she began acting for film in 1960, she was initially celebrated for the actors she played against, rather than for her own skills, which were indeed considerable. She distinguished herself by playing against such greats as Alec Guinness, Sean Connery, and Albert Finney, among many other luminaries of the era. As the decade turned, she was celebrated more for the boundaries she broke. York was fearless of appearing nude on screen in an era that was marked by its conservatism. She engaged in same-sex love scenes with both Coral Browne and Elizabeth Taylor in an era only barely past the decriminalization of homosexuality. Films like The Killing of Sister George and Z and Company cemented Susannah York in the fevered libidos of a generation of British youth. Many an athletic sock met its untimely end in homage to her. It was only later in her career that York finally began to achieve the recognition for her skills she most certainly deserved. In 1969, York proved that she possessed balls bigger than any of her male counterparts by snubbing her nomination for an Academy Award, saying she had been offended by being nominated without first having been asked. The Academy ended up giving the award to Goldie Hawn instead. No matter, York was awarded both her Cannes Festival Award and her BAFTA shortly thereafter. Throughout the 1970s, York pursued more offbeat roles, and though her performances were stellar, they tended to appear in films that missed their audiences. Her acting career began to sputter. She branched out into writing and penned 2 children's fantasy novels. Despite this slowdown, she still appeared in films opposite John Hurt and Michael Caine, and landed a cameo beside Marlon Brando in the 1978 blockbuster Superman, a role she reprised in 2 of that film's sequels. She branched out into television roles in the 1980s, but somehow never quite managed to regain her glory. York was on the verge of a late-life comeback in the mid-2000s, much as her contemporaries Helen Mirren or Judi Dench enjoyed. Unfortunately, however, she was prevented from this renaissance when she was diagnosed with bone marrow cancer. She remained undefeated by this diagnosis, and despite her refusal to undergo chemotherapy, she still managed to appear in 2 more feature films and made a major stage appearance before she died in 2011. She was 72 years old. This has been another Profile in Cinemania. This episode was written and performed by Ethan Ireland. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. Profiles in Cinemania is a production of the Cinemania Society, LLC.